Welcome to Wood Library's Spotlight On program, where we shine a spotlight on an author or an illustrator of children's books. Today we're going to be shining our spotlight on Audrey Wood. Audrey Wood has written over 50 books for children. She does the illustrations, sometimes by herself, sometimes with her husband Don. And they've created some wonderful, wonderful stories that I bet you'll recognize some of them. We're going to start off right now with one of her most famous ones. It's The Little Mouse, the Red Ripe Strawberry, and the Big Hungry Bear. Do you see that mouse? She did the story with her husband, and he did the pictures. And this is published by Child Play. Hello, little mouse. What are you doing? Oh, I see. Are you going to pick that red, ripe strawberry? But little mouse, haven't you heard about the big hungry bear? Oh, how that bear loves red, ripe strawberries. The big hungry bear can smell a red, ripe strawberry a mile away. Especially one that has just been picked. Boom, boom, boom. The bear will tromp through the forest on his big, hungry feet and find the strawberry. No matter where it is hidden. Or who is guarding it. Or how it is disguised. Quick! There's only one way in the whole wide world to save a red, ripe strawberry from the big, hungry bear. Cut it in two. Share half with a friend. Me. And we'll both eat it all up. Yum. Now that's one red ripe strawberry the big hungry bear will never get. Just be sure. Oh, I always like the end part. He's happy. Well, if you stopped by the library, you should have gotten a bag like this that has the materials for the crafts that we're going to be doing today. So I want you to reach inside and pull out the piece that has the red ripe strawberry on it, and also a green piece of paper, and the disguise. Now what else you'll need for this project is a pencil, a pair of scissors, and a marker. Now it can be a marker or it can be a black crayon. It doesn't really matter which. You're going to use that marker to make the seeds on your strawberry. And you know how you do that? You just do little V's. Do you know the letter V? Does that look like a red ripe strawberry? Does to me. So then what you can do is take your scissors and cut all the way around on that black line. And if you have trouble with scissors, This can be good practice, or you can ask Mom or Dad or whoever's around to help you cut. I made the line really thick so it'll be easy to cut it around. And there's my red ripe strawberry, but it's not quite finished. Take that green piece of paper that you have, and what I want you to do is trace your hand on it. I don't know which way is easier for you, because we're really most interested in the finger part, because that's going to be the top of our strawberry. So if you would just take a pencil and trace around your hand. Spreading your fingers out. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. And then cut it out. Somewhere I have one already cut out. Well, I guess I'll cut another one. And this doesn't have to be perfect, just so that you've got the green cap for your strawberry. So it looks kind of like that. And then I didn't mention, but it would be good if you had a glue stick or some Scotch tape, because you're going to glue that right onto the top of your strawberry. So just put some glue on the back and stick it right on your strawberry, just like that. And are we going to disguise it? Yes, we are. So what I'd like you to do is to take your silly glasses and find where the ends of the glasses touch your strawberry. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on my top because it's not wanting to stick as well as I'd like it to. So anyway, I'm going to take my pencil and just mark where those would be. So I need a mark right there and one right there. And I'm just going to mark it like that. Do you see where I've made some circles? And then I'm going to cut a hole in it. And that's why it's helpful if your scissors have a little bit of a sharp point. And this is, again, maybe something you need to have Mom or Dad do, but you're just going to cut that out. On both sides. So now I've got 2 holes, and I'm just going to take my glasses and slide them right in those holes, and then close them up on the back and tape them down. Just like that. And then you'll see my red ripe strawberry is all disguised so that big hungry bear won't find it. Anytime during our program, if you want to pause the video so that you can do the craft part, that'll be fine. But right now that I've got a disguised strawberry, well, I'm going to read another story. Do you like to take a bath? Do you like getting out of the bathtub Or would you like to stay in there for a long time? This is a book that has rather dark illustrations, but it's a fun one. And it also won the Caldecott Honor the year it was published, which means it was one of the best illustrated books that year. This is called King Bidgood's in the Bathtub. It's written by Audrey Wood and illustrated by her husband, Don. And there you can see a young man who's got something very heavy on his back. He's walking up the stairs. Back in the times when people lived in castles, that's how they got water upstairs. They didn't just turn a faucet. They had to tote it up there. "Help, help," cried the page when the sun came up. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do?" "I do," cried the knight when the sun came up. "Get out, it's time to battle." "Come in," cried the king with a boom, 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 and there he is with his hand saying, "Today we battle in the tub." "Help, help," cried the page when the sun got hot. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do?" "I do," said the queen when the sun got hot. "Get out, it's time for lunch." "Come in," cried the king with a yum, yum, yum. "Today we lunch in the tub." "Help, help," cried the page when the sun sank low. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do?" "I do," cried the duke when the sun sank low. "Get out, it's time to fish." "Come in," said the king with a trout, trout, trout. Oh, wait till you see this. "Today we fish in the tub." "Help, help," cried the page when the night got dark. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do?" "We do," cried the court when the night got dark. "Get out for the masquerade ball." "Come in," said the king with a jig, jig, jig. "Tonight we dance in the tub." "Help, help," cried the court when the moon shone bright. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do? Who knows what to do?" "I do," said the page when the moon shone bright, and then he pulled the plug. Blub, blub, blub. Glub, glub, glub. Oh, there goes the king. Well, I thought it was interesting that all while King Bidgood was in the bathtub, he wore his crown. So if you go back to your bag, you should find, mine fell on the floor, a paper plate. And this is going to become our crown. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is fold that plate in half. And press down with your fingers in the middle part. So you make a crease like that. And then what you're going to do is fold it in half again. And crease it. This gets to be hard, so you may have to have some help holding it while you do the pressing down. Guess what? We're going to do it one more time. We're going to fold it in half again and press. And then when you open it all up, it's kind of like wedges of pizza, doesn't it? So we're going to cut On all of those lines we folded. So I'm going to cut from here to here. Like that. When you get to the ripply edge, stop. Then cut the next wedge over. Maybe mom or dad could hold the plate while you cut. Don't cut their fingers. And then one more over here. So we've cut all of those. But we need to do one more. So we're going to open our plate and fold it in half the other way. So we still have one area that needs to be trimmed or cut the wedge open. And what you should have should look like this. And you're going to decorate it however you want. Now you can use colored pencils, you can use crayons, you can use markers, anything you would like to color around and make it very fancy looking. This is how I did mine, with polka dots and stripes around the edge. I tried to make a pattern and then I made a mistake, but I'm not going to show you where. So go ahead, you can stop the video and you can color yours, or you can do it later, whichever you want. And then what you're going to want to do is fold those wedges up. Should make a nice birthday crown too. And I'm pressing down pretty firmly on those so they'll stand up on their own and point straight up. Like that. And then you can wear it on your head. It's a little small for me, but what I can do, if it's small on you, I hope you don't have such a big one, but you can cut it in the back a little bit, and then it would wrap around your head, just like that. And now I've got a crown, and so do you. Well, shall we have another story? This is one of my very favorites. It's called The Napping House by Audrey Wood. And guess who did the pictures? Her husband, Don. And if you look closely, maybe you can see that it's a rainy day. Kind of gray, kind of blue. There is a house. A napping house where everyone is sleeping. And in that house, there's a bed, a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that bed, there's a granny, a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that granny, there's a child, a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that child, there's a dog. A dozing dog on a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that dog, there's a cat. A snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that cat, there's a mouse. A slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that mouse, there's a flea. It's very hard to see. I don't even know that you can see it from where you are. Can it be a wakeful flea? On a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping? A wakeful flea who bites the mouse. Squeak! Who scares the cat. Meow! Who claws the dog. Woof! Who thumps the child. Oh! Who bumps the granny. Oh my! Who breaks the bed. Crack! In the napping house, where now no one is sleeping. Well, what we're going to do now is go back to our bags and get out the cups that you found in there. Now you should have 7 cups, I think. I only have 6 because I gave away most of them. And also in your bag, you should find a sheet that says the napping house. And if you look at it, do you recognize who all of these characters are? There's the granny and the child, the dog, the cat, the mouse, the flea, and of course, the star of the story, the bed. So what you can do is you can color all of those characters and the bed and cut them out, and we're going to put them on the cups. So I'm going to pause for just a second, see where mine are. There they are. Maybe I don't have to pause. I did some coloring ahead of time so that I could show you. And you can, as I said, pause the tape anywhere along here to do the craft project. This might be something you want to do later on, or you can do it right now. You don't have to, what they say, fussy cut. It doesn't have to be real close. I'm just kind of outlining them with my scissors as I cut, which means I'm leaving white space. That makes it a lot easier to cut. So I'm going to cut out each of the characters. Do you notice the characters get smaller as they are added to the story? Granny's the biggest, and then there's the child. The dog is a little bit smaller, and the cat's a little bit smaller still, and the mouse, smaller. And then, of course, who's the teeny tiny one that's up on the top? The flea. And what we're going to be able to do when we cut all of these out is we're going to be able to retell the story and stack them just like they were in the story, one on top of another, and see if we break the bed or not. I'm almost done. I've got the cat still to cut. And the mouse. I'm going to cut right over the table so I don't drop it on the floor and lose it. And then the last one, that wakeful flea. Now at this point you're going to want either a glue stick or some Scotch tape to attach them to your cups. But they're not going to all go on the same way, because what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to be able to stack the cups one on top of another so they balance. So I'm going to put Granny on one. And I'm just going to put a little circle of tape on the back of Granny so she can actually kind of stick out. Now you've got enough cups that you can put the bed on one of them. I'll have to steal a cup from another set, but I'll just put my bed on one as well so that we can really make a tower. Okay, so I'll put my bed, and then Granny's going to go on top of that, and then I'm going to turn the cup. If that one was with the small edge up, then I'm going to do it so it's the reverse. So the dog is going to go on the next cup, but he's going to be with the wide end up. So there's the dog. And then I'm going to do it this way. Oops, there's my glue stick. For the next one, it's going to sit right on there. Who goes on next? The cat. Oh, wait a second. The dog didn't go next, did he? You were supposed to tell me. We need the child next. And then the dog. So there's the child. Like that. And then the dog will be the same way that Granny is, with the small part up top. And we'll have a small part on the bottom for the next one, which is the cat. And we'll have the small part on the top for the mouse. Are you understanding what I mean with the small part on the top? This is the small part of the bottom of the cup, is the small part. And then the last one, we'll turn this way so that the opening of the cup is up, and we'll add that flea. And then I hope I can show you, because I can't really get the camera to go down. So we'll have Granny and then the child. Whoop! This is what we're going to have to do, is try to balance. So we've got, okay. And then who comes next? Then I need the dog. This is going to be tricky. So I'm going to set it down and see if my tower comes up into camera view. Next we'll need the cat. And then we'll need the mouse to balance on top. And then, whose goes on the very top? That flea. And then, you know what? You can break the bed, because the flea is going to bite the mouse. Squeak! And just knock them all right down until all you've got is the bed. And one nice thing about these is once you have them, you can nest them in each other to put them away. Just be careful as you're sticking them inside that they don't crinkle. And you're all set to tell the story anytime you want. Oop, looks like my bed is the wrong way, doesn't it? All right, well, that was kind of silly. Should we have one more story called Silly Sally? And then I think we're going to try and do one more thing on the flannel board too. And this is a bright colored book. You might have remembered that King Bidgood was a very dark story. The Napping House was kind of a gray story. This one is full of color. And let's see, I think that Audrey did this one all by herself. Well, Silly Sally went to town, walking backwards, upside down. And on the way she met a pig, a silly pig. They danced a jig. Silly Sally went to town, dancing backwards, upside down. And on the way she met a dog, a silly dog. They played leapfrog. Silly Sally went to town leaping backwards upside down. On the way, she met a loon, a silly loon. They sang a tune. Can you sing a silly tune? La la la! Silly Sally went to town singing backwards upside down. On the way, she met a sheep, a silly sheep. They fell asleep. Now, how did Sally get to town sleeping backwards upside down? Well, along came Nettie Buttercup, walking forwards right side up. Don't they all look silly there? He tickled the pig who danced a jig. He tickled the dog who played leapfrog. He tickled the loon that sang a tune. He tickled the sheep who fell asleep. He tickled Sally who woke right up. And she tickled Nellie Buttercup. And that's how Sally got to town, walking backwards, upside down. Now, one thing I didn't point out in The Napping House or in this book is that Audrey Wood gives you some clues about what's going to be happening next. I'm just going to go back with this one. Let's go to the beginning. There's Sally. There's the pig. There's the dog in his house, the loon, the sheep, and there's Nettie Buttercup. So you see all the characters at the very beginning, but you just don't know what's going to be happening. And as you go towards town, each one she meets, she gets a little closer to the next one. So that's always fun to look at. Authors sometimes like to do things like that to make it fun for you. So let's see. We made our strawberry and we made our bed. Was there anything else in our bag that I had to remember? We made our crown. So I think the only thing we need is our story on the flannel board. So I'm going to stop this because I have to go over there. I should have brought the board over here, but I didn't think of it. So hold on, and I'll be right back. Told you I'd be right back. I wanted to use my blue flannel board today because, well, this is a story called The Deep Blue Sea. So I kind of need blue for a background. There's the sea, the deep blue sea. And there's a rock, a red rock in the middle of the deep blue sea. There's a tree. What color? Green tree on the red rock in the middle of the deep blue sea. There's a brown nut on the green tree on the red rock in the middle of the deep blue sea. There's a parrot, a purple parrot, on the brown nut on the green tree on the red rock in the middle of the deep blue sea. There's a butterfly, an orange butterfly by the purple parrot on the brown nut on the green tree on the red rock in the middle of the deep blue sea. There's a spot, a black spot on the orange butterfly near the purple parrot on the brown nut on the green tree on the red rock in the middle of the deep blue sea. And over them all shines the yellow sun until a little white cloud turns dark and gray. which makes all the little fishies come out to, can you guess? It's going to rhyme with the word gray. Which makes all the little fishies come out to play. Then all the little fishes sing fiddle-dee-dee. It's raining on the rock in the middle of the sea. And that's our last story by Audrey Wood. I hope you'll come to the library and check out a lot of her fun stories. You'll enjoy them. And I hope you'll stop by soon. Say hi, and we'll be back next month for our Spotlight program, and we're going to be shining the spotlight on 5 little monkeys who are very mischievous. I hope we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.